And to move on, we're going to go right into our first lightning discussion on simplifying data integration using Postgres. And here to take us through that discussion is Timm, Field CTO of Public Sector for Crunchy Data. Without further ado, Adam, take it away.
All right, thanks, Carrie. I appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me here today. As Carrie said, my name's Timm, and I work for Crunchy Data. Next slide, please. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Crunchy Data, we are an enterprise Postgres company, and we provide certified open source distributions of Postgres in a variety of different packages, whether it's virtual machine, bare metal, or cloud environments. And that does include the PostGIS extension, which hopefully a lot of you in this group are using currently. Next slide, please. All right, so at Crunchy, a little over a year ago, we kind of gave ourselves a challenge. We were seeing, kind of a growing need for a combination of both transaction, a transaction database as well as a very efficient analytic database. And what we were seeing in the marketplace is really kind of large enterprises were being forced to choose in their architecture between one or the other, and there wasn't really a good solution that brought both an OLTP and an OLAP workflow into one solution. And us being a Postgres company, we were wondering, can we bring all the great functionality of Postgres into that analytic or that warehousing space? And so that was the challenge that the team at Crunchy kind of took on to themselves, and want to talk a little bit more about what we just released on that. But before we get to that, I want to set a little bit more of the stage of really kind of why that was the challenge. Next slide, please. Okay, so a lot of people might be asking why would Postgres make sense as a data warehouse? So for those of you that aren't familiar, Postgres is rapidly becoming the de facto database of choice for developers, both kind of amateur as well as professional developers. Postgres has been around for over 30 years. It's got a very active community contributing to the ongoing development and maintenance of Postgres, adding new features, keeping pace with trends in modern data processing and data analytics. Like I said, it's just a very mature and versatile data processing tool. The other trend that we were seeing across the community is S3 has really become the de facto data storage and exchange layer, as well as kind of the main interface for a lot of these data analytics systems. Unfortunately, if you're using Postgres and you had data in S3, really your only choice was to load that data directly into Postgres. And really what that led to is when you get into the large data space, Postgres really just kind of starts to struggle once you reach a certain point for the amount of data within Postgres doing fast analytical queries directly in Postgres. And that's really why large organizations kind of went with a data warehousing or data lake architecture. And so we wanted to solve that problem and do it by not necessarily or not forking Postgres or modifying Postgres itself, but extending Postgres into that space. And we were able to do that. Next slide. And what we just released is a new product that we're calling Crunchy Data Warehouse, and it's our approach or it's our take on a modern data warehouse. So what does that really mean, right? So with Crunchy Data Warehouse, it really brings data lake capabilities directly into Postgres, right? So there's no need for any sort of ETL processing pipelines, right? No need for directly ingesting the data into Postgres if you don't want it there, right? If you have a lot of data in S3 that you want to be able to query and have it queried and co-located with all of your transactional data that you're constantly updating within Postgres, we wanted to bring those two together, right? And so not having to do any sort of complex data processing pipelines is a core feature of Crunchy Data Warehouse. The other key feature of Crunchy Data Warehouse is it allows you to integrate open data formats. One of the key data formats and really what has enabled us to bring analytics into Postgres is an open table format called Iceberg. Don't have enough time to really go into the details of what Iceberg is and really the benefits of Iceberg and Parquet, strongly encourage you to do kind of your own independent research on that. We also have a recorded webinar that you see the link on the screen there, as well as the QR code. Highly encourage you to go take a look at that. We talk a little bit about more about what Iceberg is and why that kind of unlocks key capabilities for us in Crunchy Data Warehouse. But on top of that, uh, we're also able to leverage the other extensions in the Postgres ecosystem, like PostGIS. And there's other newer open data formats like GeoParquet that bring geospatial capability into the data analytics space. So with Crunchy Data Warehouse, you get both the data analytics capability as well as geospatial capability all within one solution. We were able to do that by integrating an adaptive query engine directly into our architecture. Now, the thing that I really want to foot stop here is we built this on top of the open source Postgres software itself. Again, we didn't fork this. We didn't make any sort of proprietary changes to Postgres itself. We leveraged the Postgres extension ecosystem, the existing extensions that were out there, as well as we wrote some of our own new extensions and built in some of our own native capability and integrated other open source components to this. And the reason why we wanted to make sure we were staying with the core Postgres code base itself is it allows us to keep pace with the Postgres community. So as new features, new functionality is being added to Postgres, we're able to take advantage of that and rapidly roll that out into Crunchy Data Warehouse. The other thing I'll say is we rolled this out initially as part of our fully managed service, which is called Crunchy, was originally called Crunchy Bridge for Analytics. And then we released it as its own fully managed service back in November as Crunchy Data Warehouse. And we just brought this to our on-prem customers. So whether you're looking for a fully managed data warehousing capability or you want to deploy this on-prem, we've got a solution for you that allows you to leverage all the core capabilities of Postgres, but brings in that data lake capability. And also what we did, because we understand that data, even in the analytics space, does get updated. You get new data into those S3 buckets. We created a couple of new open source extensions, PG cron and PG incremental, that allow you to both read new data from your S3 data warehouse or S3 bucket, as well as once data has reached a certain age within your Postgres environment and you'd like to archive that out to more efficient storage, you could archive that from Postgres out to S3, but still have a unified data view through your Postgres interface. So Crunchy Data Warehouse does bring a lot of brand new capabilities to Postgres, and we're very excited about it. Really encourage you to go take a look at that recording. Last slide. And if you're not interested in kind of the geospatial or Postgres capabilities, you might be interested in seeing how you could leverage that to help save some money. So one of the first things that we did as Crunchy is we wanted to eat our own dog food here. And with our fully managed service Crunchy Bridge, we were shipping all of our logs to AWS CloudWatch. For those of you that have used CloudWatch before, you should be fairly aware that it's not cheap to use. So we migrated all of our logs from CloudWatch into Crunchy Data Warehouse, mainly just because we wanted to use our own capability. And we expected it to make things a little bit easier. Now we can work completely in Postgres. What we weren't expecting is it ended up saving us over $30,000 a month, right? And we're a mid-sized company, right? So that's fairly significant savings. I mean, even if you're a large company or a large organization, $30,000 a month is nothing to sneeze at. So encourage you to take a look at that, whether you want to learn how you could use Crunchy Data Warehouse to integrate more data into your existing capabilities, or just maybe potentially save some money on your existing data infrastructure. And last slide. And so with that, I thank everybody. I believe I've just about reached my time, and happy to take questions in our Q&A session for later this morning. So thank you again, and Carrie, back to you.
Wonderful. Adam, thank you so much for a really fantastic discussion and bringing us through all of those details.